Sold. Shohei Ohtani's 50-50 home run ball sold at auction for, get this, if you haven't heard, $4.39 million. That shatters the record paid for a baseball.
Shatter. Shatter.
Unfortunately, sometimes things don't break. They shatter.
No one has the power to shatter your dreams unless you give it to them.
Shatter. Shatter.
That was just a detour. A shortcut.
Detour. Detour.
Why don't we take a little detour?
We kind of took a little detour on our way over here.
Detour. Detour.
Having compassion for other people is at the top of that list. By compassion, I don't just mean sympathy. It certainly isn't pity. It's being present, and it's also feeling with other beings.
Compassion. Compassion.
Oh my God. You have no compassion.
She was good, fair, full of compassion.
Compassion. Compassion.
Well, it's you.
Yes, Mr. Bradley.
Or is it?
Do you like it?
Yeah, very much. So that was your mysterious appointment.
Mr. Bradley, I have a confession to make.
Confession?
Yes, I ran away last night from school.
Confession. Confession.
Can I make a confession?
I'm here for a confession.
Confession. Confession.
And America will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of incompetence and they're grossly incompetent, let's face it. They are the worst. That's no president.
Incompetent. Incompetent.
You're not a completely, terribly, horrible, incompetent doctor.
Can you arrest someone for being incompetent, uncaring, self-centered, unfaithful, and pathologically late?
Incompetent. Incompetent.
Vice President Harris calling to concede the race to Mr. Trump and late today addressing supporters and the nation.
While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
Concede. Concede.
I mean, even you have to concede that since you've become chief, our fortunes have suffered, and the tribe simply can't afford it.
That you're taking. We will not be paying for something we believe is ours. And we will fight you till the end before we concede on this.
Concede. Concede.
She will put forward an actual plan to make housing more affordable, to cut taxes for middle-class families, to help small businesses get a foothold, to expand the child tax credit, to fight inflation by cracking down on grocery monopolies.
Affordable. Affordable.
Great. Normally, New York is the friendliest, most affordable city in the world.
Go to night school at community college. It's pretty affordable.
Affordable. Affordable.
At Toyota, we have a set of values that include integrity, humility, and respect for others. We call it the Toyota Way. And it gives our company a North Star, a guiding light. Find your own guiding light and let it inform every decision you make.
Integrity. Integrity.
I foolishly believed that your husband was a man of integrity.
Where's your pride? Where's your integrity?
Integrity. Integrity.
Like so many parents, I wondered how I was going to balance my work with my new role as parent. And in that moment, I remember that the statistic for the U.S.'s policy on maternity leave flashed in my mind. American women are currently entitled to 12 weeks unpaid leave. American men are entitled to nothing.
Statistic. Statistic.
I think it's a very interesting statistic.
Ted, it's a well-known statistic that 83% of people married longer than 6 months are seeing someone on the side.
Statistic. Statistic.
She hates me, Nigel.
And that's my problem because... Oh, wait, no, it's not my problem.
I don't know what else I can do, because if I do something right, it's unacknowledged. She doesn't even say thank you. But if I do something wrong, she is vicious.
So quit.
What?
Vicious. Vicious.
America has become a cruel and vicious place.
Why, not only are you selfish and vicious, but you have no feeling for the cares of your loved one.
Vicious. Vicious.
Putin must lose. Must lose so that everyone else who sees Russia's war on Ukraine as his personal lecture at the so-called University of Aggression gets the message loud and clear.
Aggression. Aggression.
There has to be a response to this aggression.
Sometimes we'd find whole villages where the aggression was just too deeply rooted and we had to take it all out.
Aggression. Aggression.
If your hairline is receding to an advanced degree, it probably will look better when you shave it off. But do I care if you shave your hair off or not? Most people, most of the time, are not thinking about you. So to think that people are like sitting down at a Christmas dinner thinking about Joey's hairline is such a joke.
Recede. Recede.
You know, if you keep pulling your hair back in a ponytail, it's gonna recede.
Listen, tonight, after we finish eating, you make like you got something else to do and just recede into the night, if you know what I mean.
Recede. Recede.
I want to use the last few seconds, Mr. Speaker, to give some words of advice to my successor, whoever he or she may be. Number one, stay close to the Americans, stick up for the Ukrainians, stick up for freedom and democracy everywhere. Cut taxes. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank everybody here and hasta la vista, baby. Thank you.
Successor. Successor.
I thought the first thing I should do is to find a suitable successor, someone you would approve of, to put your mind at ease. And
I think you're getting to that age where you have to start thinking about a successor.
Successor. Successor.
Corporation tax cut, gone. 20p tax cut, gone. 2-year energy freeze, gone. Tax-free shopping, gone. Economic credibility, gone. They're all gone. So why is she still here?
Mr. Speaker, I am a fighter and not a quitter.
Credibility. Credibility.
She has no credibility. It's bullshit.
Also have an obligation to uphold the dignity and the credibility of the United States Senate.
Credibility. Credibility.
This is Lady Gaga. Your morals, principles, and values, I strongly believe now, must be sincere and authentic to you. Your principles must come from your heart. Your values must come from your brain. Your morals must be derived from the whole you that you contribute lovingly to humanity.
Authentic. Authentic.
It's really important to the director that everything in this movie is authentic.
Sheriff, this document is authentic.
Authentic. Authentic.
Bizarre explanation that South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol instituted martial law across the country as soon as the president issued that declaration, citing North Korean forces and anti-state forces In South Korea, a bizarre explanation that few people seem to understand, we saw scores and scores of protesters come to the National Assembly.
Bizarre. Bizarre.
It's bizarre.
You don't think this is incredible and bizarre and fascinating?
Bizarre. Bizarre.
And anyone who may be vulnerable. The experience must make it clear that the safety of women, minorities, and anyone who may be vulnerable is a right and not a privilege.
Vulnerable. Vulnerable.
Yeah, well, you may talk tough, Miss Piggy, but underneath, I know you're still the same beautiful, sensitive, vulnerable woman I was out with the other night. And it is still extremely vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Vulnerable.
And it all began, of course, with some very irresponsible emailing over Bridget's non-existent skirt.
Irresponsible. Irresponsible.
Do you have any idea how irresponsible you've been?
That was completely irresponsible and dangerous.
Irresponsible. Irresponsible.
Tariffs are properly used, are a very powerful tool, not only economically, but also for getting other things outside of economics. Tariffs are going to make our country rich. Tariffs are going to help us pay off $35 trillion in debt. Tariffs are going to make our country safe.
Tariff. Tariff.
How can you legislate tariff reform when not all citizens are able to vote for it?
With this rate of tariff, I'm confident it'll have a mitigating effect on the anti-dumping cases.
Tariff. Tariff.
What are you willing to sacrifice for the truth? Every day, I live with the real threat of spending the rest of my life in jail because I'm a journalist. When I go home, I have no idea what the future holds, but it's worth the risk. Please, let's hold the line together.
Sacrifice. Sacrifice.
So why sacrifice your freedom and the happiness of your family?
Sometimes you have to sacrifice to do the right thing.
Sacrifice. Sacrifice.
As Studio Ghibli's anime continue to delight audiences worldwide, with Hayao Miyazaki's wonderful The Boy and the Heron scooping an Oscar earlier this year, perhaps you would allow me to note one particular individual who turns 50 this year. Raised in a London suburb with her twin sister, a self-made entrepreneur worth billions of dollars, and a UNICEF Children's Ambassador on top of all that. So I can only wish a very happy birthday to Hello Kitty.
Scoop. Scoop.
I really want to live in a world where disability is not the exception, but the norm. I want to live in a world where a 15-year-old girl sitting in her bedroom watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer isn't referred to as achieving anything because she's doing it sitting down.
Norm. Norm.
Because anytime you deviate from a norm, anytime you put yourself above a social standard, people do not like it.
As long as cold beer, hot food, rock and roll, and all the other amenities remain the expected norm.
Norm. Norm.
And I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians. And the fact is, despite best efforts to work through it, Parliament has been paralyzed for months after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in Canadian history. That's why this morning I advised the Governor-General that we need a new session of Parliament.
paralyze, paralyze,
May I say so that if you stay now, it will paralyze the nation and its foreign policy.
The toxin will paralyze his neural system, which will cause his hearts to stop.
paralyze, paralyze,
You'll be attacking the target from a higher altitude, level with the north wall.
altitude, altitude,
Losing altitude!
I'm losing altitude.
In a freak accident, a helicopter lost altitude, veered into a tunnel, and collided with a high-speed train on its way from London to Paris.
altitude, altitude,
The future was going for the game here in the US, and also where my family was happiest. And my family are happiest here at the moment. We love living in LA, we love living in America. We've adapted the culture, we've adapted everything that this country has, and we enjoy that. So I'm going to continue to enjoy playing soccer here.
adapt, adapt,
That is why I think we should adapt this ceremony.
Another rule of business is being able to adapt to different situations.
Adapt yourself.
adapt, adapt,
Harvard, do you hear us? We are in a moment of intense division and disagreement in our community over the events in Gaza. I see pain, anxiety, and unrest across campus. But it's now, in a moment like this, that the power of not knowing becomes critical.
critical, critical,
Good choice. Critical hit.
Ming, this is a critical time.
Since then, we have distributed 270 million critical items, including diapers, formula.
critical, critical,
And my favorite thing about songwriting is that it's so spontaneous and unpredictable what's going to hit me first, whether it's going to be a general thought. It's crazy how the fastest songs that I write end up being my favorites. The ones that just happen in just a surge of idea, a surge of inspiration. And it's usually something I'm going through at the time. It's very hard for me to come up with just some random metaphor for a situation if I'm not going through it or haven't recently just gone through it. But
spontaneous, spontaneous,
You know, it wasn't. I knew what I was going to do, but
That was spontaneous?
Change me into a different person, and that maybe this new spontaneous me would somehow.
Our first kiss has to be romantic and spontaneous.
spontaneous, spontaneous,
Japan is one of the safest countries in the world, and its police seem to keep it that way while almost never firing a shot.
The essence of Japanese law enforcement is here at the Koban, or police box. The cops seem to be just about everywhere. On guard at local festivals, helping kids across the street. Gently, if somewhat ineffectually, herding mobs at a Halloween street party.
enforcement, enforcement,
But once again, law enforcement is baffled, leaving everyone to wonder, who is this mysterious hero?
But in the future, if you want to practice law enforcement, I would prefer you did it in Detroit.
On behalf of the entire South Carolina law enforcement community, I would like to apologize to you.
enforcement, enforcement,
Although I was caught up in evacuee life because of the war, the protecting hand of my elders was always there, so my childhood was a time of relative tranquility.
tranquility, tranquility,
Dr. Talbot has decided I need more tranquility. Much more.
A place of peace, relaxation, and tranquility.
The peace and tranquility to which we had grown accustomed was suddenly shattered.
tranquility, tranquility.